play.
Welcome back, viewers, to another episode of Let's Play Sacred for the PC, with me, Bezlonir, your host, as always, except when I'm not your host, which is like when I'm taking a poop or taking a shower. I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing here? I'm not doing an episode of Sacred LP. Get out of my shower! Why are you guys always bugging me when I'm trying to take a piss? Stop it. Oh, leave me alone. Okay. So, we are going to head over here, and there's got a dragon to fight, which reminds me of the Ninja Sex Party song, Dragon Slayer. I wish I could give you a quote of it right now, but I am not too good with quotes. If you haven't seen it, go look up Ninja Sex Party, Dragon Slayer, and watch that ish, because it is funny. Danny Sex Bang and Ninja Bry. Pretty awesome stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I sorry. I'm not sure. I think that's just a personal reference that is only relevant to me. I sorry. My friend used to have a kid. Then some shit went down. He doesn't have a kid anymore. Back in the day when I was young, I feel like I sung that before in this LP. I was like, back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. It's too bad you're not watching an LP done by somebody who can, sing. But, for that, you'll have to give me a bit of a pass. I'm not sitting in a studio doing takes. Not that that's the main issue at hand. It's mainly that I have no musical training and I can't sing. I'd probably need like a couple of years of voice lessons just to be able to do barely passable singing, because I usually sing like way off key or something. I'm too ignorant to even be able to correctly describe why my singing is bad. But at least I know my singing is bad. Oh yeah, I've recorded myself singing and then, listened back to it. It was bad. But, oh yeah, so back in the day, my friend's kid was like 3, and that's just one of the things he used to say. He'd do something and he'd be like, I sorry. And then we taught him, so he was 3 years old, and we taught him to sing Ludacris's song, or the part of the song where he's like, move, bitch, get out the way. Move, bitch, get out the way. I don't think that's quite, I think there was a ho in there too. So, it's more offensive than how I'm describing it. Not that I was ever offended by it, but, You know how there's people who just get offended by things, and they'd be offended. I work with somebody like that. Just seems to be offended by everything. Like, everybody else is laughing, but they're like, huh, I'm not gonna laugh. You can't make me enjoy life. I'm offended. I am offended by your laughter, sir. I'm offended by the idea that you could enjoy these things or find this funny. I refuse to be entertained. Oh, shit. Gotta keep on moving. Shit! This is not generally hard. The only thing that makes it hard at all is the click-to-move nature. Because you gotta move your mouse over to fire off your laser, and then fire the lasers, and then, back to that. It would be really nice if I had my unicorn up, because he gives you a second between this guy's attacks to go ahead and pause, and, gives you breaks between the attacks. Otherwise, you're probably looking at mainly firing off a shot when he does his fire breath. But anyways, you can see he's far from hard. Far from hard. And then you got all these cursed treasures here. We can zoom in and see those. They're not worth picking up all these things. It's like 5,000 gold apiece. So if we were to look in our inventory, we have, we could use some comments here, 2,800,000 some odd gold, and that number is not likely to go down anytime soon. Oh, Isawi. I didn't even, like, look at that guy's name, but I bet you saw it if you wanted to see it, because I tried to record it at relatively high resolution. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pause this video. No idea how long I've been recording, and, or I'm going to try, this is something new. I'm trying the pause recording feature, so I hope this all goes well. And when we come back, we will go try to find that axe. Alright, oh boy. So the pause recording feature, I tried it. That was interesting. So here we are in northern Masquerade. We're going to make our way up here just past this graveyard. And there's a little path through the forest here. Oh boy, the problem with the pause recording feature, it did work. However, there was no visual confirmation of it working, or the status of the pausing of the recording as to whether or not I was currently paused in my recording or not. So there's this little quest. This person wants us to fight this guy on the bridge. It's one of at least a couple quests where somebody wants you to fight somebody on a bridge. So, Robin Hood ripoff, I guess. I don't know. Whoop-de-doo. We fought a guy on a bridge. We fought a guy on a bridge. And what does he have to say now? Oh, whatever. Okay. If you say so. So there's some kind of thing here. Oh man, I wish I could. I wish I knew. I've never actually found this myself. I've read about it, and I did explore out to this little area. However, when I came over here myself, I was not actually able to find my way over there. Let's see. I don't know if it has anything to do with the horse or what have you. May have to pop off the horse. No, there's a way across here. Then you gotta like follow over here. Does this go anywhere? Okay, here we go. So there you have it. You wouldn't necessarily know that. So here's what's over here. Thane's Axe of Flames. That's the special item. And then there's like a grave. It said what? What you mean that club was real? Okay. So it's nothing necessarily all that special. I guess it's alright if you have like if you're playing like a dwarf or something. They're good with axes. I think I mentioned this once a really long time ago, but the different classes have certain, I guess, weapon proficiencies, so they will actually be a lot faster with those weapons. In case you're gonna play as melee, this can be significant. Mostly use skills, otherwise. It's generally preferred, or anyway, I generally prefer it in these sorts of games when you mostly use skills to beat things. So yeah, okay, when I get to the end of this path, I'm going to pause again, but this is going to be really, I'm never going to do this again for another video, pausing things, because I need to know whether or not I'm recording, and for me to like try to keep track of whether or not how many times did I press the button? Did I press it 6 times or 7? I need a Clint Eastwood voice here. Do I feel lucky, punk? Well, do I? I don't feel lucky. Things are always going wrong when you try to record. Any YouTuber knows that. You just avoid things that mess things up. Anyway, so when we come back, we'll be at that place. Timberton. That wasn't Timberton, I hovered over. Anyway, when we come back, we'll be in Timberton. So I'll see you there. Alright, so here we are in Timberton. We are in Timberton. And so I feel as though we may wind up making another Hieronymus Bosch reference. Randomly got turned on to Hieronymus Bosch via a visit to the Denver Art Museum. And it wasn't actually a Hieronymus Bosch painting that I saw that time, but it was a anonymous disciple of Hieronymus Bosch who did this painting, but it was a similar style. It's very interesting. I think he was a Dutch painter, and so he does some pretty crazy stuff, and so it's pretty neat. A lot of, I guess, okay, so the Hieronymus Bosch's thing, as I understand from, I think, Wikipedia and stuff, is that he thought, his belief was that, and I don't know whether he really believed this, or it was like a barroom philosophy, theoretical belief. It's, I haven't done the sort of research to be able to say on that, but he apparently believed that the world was in the devil's entrails, so that we were all in basically the devil's digestive system or something like that. So he was an interesting guy. But he does a lot of things that are like, I'm really failing to honestly make commentary on that. I guess I better give up. Just, if you haven't seen Hieronymus Bosch stuff and you're into kind of weird paintings and art, you know, say you like H.R. Giger, things like that, you might like Hieronymus Bosch. They're totally different. I don't mean to say that they have anything to do with each other, but it's just sort of off-the-wall art. Like, Hieronymus Bosch is not, like, psychedelic. I don't know. They had drugs back then, but they didn't have, like, your sort of modern psychedelics. I don't think so. There wouldn't be anything like that. Most people would have been doing like opium or something like that if they were, if anything was influencing their art. But you know, that's one of those classic cop-outs, so people just can't understand different modes of thinking or how people can be artistic. You know, small-minded people always, their answer is, oh, he must have done a lot of drugs. Like, I'm kind of an artistic person, and I can personally tell you throughout my life, people have always thought that I was doing or had done way more drugs than I've actually done, which is not really very much drugs. Not very much drugs at all. In all honesty, just a little here and there. Probably about average, maybe even less than your normal person, because well, when I was younger, the main reason that I didn't do more drugs was that I couldn't get a hold of them. Nowadays, the main reason that I don't do drugs is also because I can't get a hold of them, but at the same time, I don't want to mess myself up, and I'm too old for that shit. You know? I'm just... Danny Glover, help me out here. Where's Danny Glover when you need him? Right? Okay, so, pressing tab, doing that sort of annoying thing, because I just wanted to make sure that I had that quest. Sometimes I seem to have difficulty getting the quest here. Really should have popped multi-shot there first. Oh, did I already mention? I don't know if I did, and I probably didn't because so much time has elapsed between when I did my LPs before and now. Oh, so you gotta come over here and press A. You gotta pick up all these guys' items. They don't, as most quest items are, they won't show up in your inventory, but you still have to pick them up. So, yeah, I don't think I got around to mentioning this because I realized it. Did a lot of research still learning about this game between when I had done recorded LPs previously on this and now. So I believe I said, I alternately, there were times where I said that there was no way to heal your companions, like this guy here. And there were also times where I said that I thought there was supposed to be a way, I heard or read that there was supposed to be a way, and I didn't know how. So, though I am taking forever to get around to explaining it, it's just Shift B. Shift B. It's one of those easily missable controls that I had to read the manual or whatever. So you really can't rush through this area because this guy, you have to protect him until you get over to this tree with a bunch of wood elves. And if he dies, then you fail the quest. So that's what we're doing now. And you go through this area. Not gonna fight anything too hard, but you can run into some packs of like goblin chieftains and stuff. They're sort of straying over from that area to the north. That's there's an area over there. Right. There's an area over there. There's not really much to see there. It's just a little whatever kind of area with some orcs, packs of orcs that run around. When you're at a higher level, I guess it could be alright for grinding, because I guess there's a fair concentration of mobs there. I wouldn't say it's any better than the desert. The desert is pretty good. It's alright. Get a decent amount of rune drops there, and that's the big issue. So there we go, we turned that in. So we just gotta go back to town and turn in a couple quests. We'll probably try to pass by most of the fighting on the way there. Yeah, so you get stuff like this. These are actually nice. These packs, these guys give a lot of XP. You get some of them in the western portions of the desert too. So yeah, stuff like that. To press Shift B to heal your companions, your followers, whatever. I think that's actually in the manual. It feels weird to even call it a manual because there's not much to it. And I don't know. I guess that's the way it is these days. Like, you know, it's not like if you go and look at like the manual for Might and Magic game or something like that, it's like 100 pages of stuff. It's just the way the industry changed. They had to make the manual smaller to reduce overhead and things like that. It's unfortunate. I miss the days, I guess, when the games were a bit more of an experience and things of that nature. But anyway, no idea how long we've been recording. I'm going to go ahead and try pausing again, and when we meet back, we'll be at Crow's Rock Castle, and we'll check out a dungeon and a dragon. How about that? Alright, so here we are at Crow's Rock Castle. Yeah, it's kind of hot in my room right now. I'm all, like, sweaty. It's like a really fun time to be recording an LP. Just another reason why I really prefer to record at like midnight or something, but right now it's just pretty much dead in the middle of the afternoon. So if you go this way up, Instead of gesturing with my mouse, I'll run up that way a bit. So that way, that's where Baron de Marjorie is. When I was doing bronze on the LP, I just breezed by this little area, but if you actually go this way, you will find that there is a dungeon here. Looks like an entrance to a sewers. Oh no, is this water deep? If we go in here, we might be stuck for one entire game. The rocks may fall behind us, and we'll have to find our way through to a beholder at the end and a really unsatisfying conclusion. Which amounts to, congratulations, you beat the game. And then you're like, that's nice, let me back in the sewer. I wasn't done playing my characters. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't make sense from a lore perspective, because according to the game, you really want to get out of the sewers. But in reality, you don't really want to get out of the sewers. So this dungeon could be good for grinding, depending on what kind of character you're rolling with. Because there's a lot of mobs in here, they're pretty compact. Probably pretty good for a melee character. Good for a vampire for sure. So yeah, there's a lot of mobs in here on both sides, they're pretty compact, and if you kill all the mobs, I think you have to kill them all, and they will respawn. So, pretty good for that. It's not very good for this character because, you know, my main skill here is penetrating arrow. And those arrows just go nuts with walls and stuff. Like, they start bouncing around, and they don't hit their targets right. Yeah, dungeons aren't really my fave in this. So, this portal will open up, and you get thrown out into this mob pack. Just beat these guys. So the only thing kind of tricky about this dragon, and let's see what his name is this time. Oh, he's just Dragon. Generic dragon, he has no special name. So the only thing that's kind of tricky about this is you don't have much space to fight him in. And as is often the case, you have to try to do it with a bunch of mobs in the way. Fortunately, dragons aren't all that hard for us. He did kill our unicorn, though. You bastard. You know what? I'm just gonna say it now. Let's just call our unicorn Kenny. You know where I'm going with this. Hey, he dropped some stuff this time. That's cool. Let's see. Well, we'll just pick it all up. Let's, before we conclude this video, let's see what that ring was. But I mean, if you pick up a ring, it's really hard to find that ring in your inventory. I'm out of touch with this character, so I don't know how good that is. It's alright. It's not great. Yeah, it's not really good for us, per se. It's tolerable. Could be okay for socketing. I got a lot of crap built up. Thought we got some kind of special item. No, oh, okay, that was the axe we picked up. Ton of runes, nothing really special. When you get higher in levels, you get higher in level, and I think when you get into gold, you start finding more green items, which are set pieces, so that's kind of cool. Just from like everything, mobs drop them, you get them from quests, so you do start to get better gear as you get higher in level. But yeah, okay, so I guess with that, I'm gonna save my game, and then I'm gonna say this is Bezlonir signing out of another episode of Let's Play Sacred for the PC, and I'll see you next time, viewer. I hope all this recorded right. Otherwise, the next time you see me in a vlog channel update, I will have no hair because I will have pulled it all out. It'd be kind of hard to do because it's not very long, but yeah, I could use a haircut anyway. So, see you next time, viewers.